What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my betting breakdown video for UFC Charlotte. We got Gelton Almeida going against Jarzina Rozenstruk.
I need all the wins, yeah. Harder than all that is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
And we are back for another betting breakdown video. This week, breaking down UFC Charlotte. We got Gelton Almeida going against Jarzina Rozenstruk in a card that is not that amazing. It's a card that I'm actually going to be going to wake up at like 3 in the morning and drive straight to Charlotte, North Carolina. And the first fight I probably get to watch is that Jeong Kim Mandy Bum fight, or maybe the Jessica Rose Clark Lisboa fight. So it's not the best card in the world, especially from a betting perspective. Like, I'm really struggling to find a lot of spots on this card. I have a couple parlays that I like. Like, the problem with this card is every spot that I like is completely juiced up. So don't have a ton of action, don't have much to talk about. This is actually my second biggest card of the year in terms of unit sizing. So a card that I'm keeping very, very light. A very sketchy card. Bankroll management's key on cards like this. You don't want to go out there and empty your bankroll on fighters like Jeong Kim. You don't want to go out there and empty your bankroll on fights like Jessica Rose Clark, Tanya Lisboa. So it's a card that I'm fine with keeping light. I've already taped next week's card. I'm going to post that prediction video very early on Saturday, so I'm liking a lot more spots on that card, but this is a card I'm going to keep really light. I do want to shout out the winner from the contest the last week, which was the prop contest, and shout out to Hudson. And Hudson, his bet was Kennedy Nzechukwu to win in either rounds 2 or rounds 3 by submission. So we had the widest odds prop. Congrats, Hudson. And what Hudson did was, the first time somebody's done this, instead of getting the prize money, he actually wanted to donate it to charity. So I went in there and I donated the $25 to Monica versus Stairs. I believe it's like a school in Australia. So went to a good cause. Shout out to you, Hudson. Very, very good class act there. And congrats on hitting that Kennedy sub 2-3. Big hit there. Other than that, if you guys can please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We're like 69 subscribers away from 20,000. If we could hit that by maybe next week, that would be awesome. We're so close, almost there. Have been trying to get there for a while now. If you guys have not subbed, please consider doing so. But let's break down this card. All right, my goodness. Let's kick it off. Jessica Rose Clark going against Tanya Lisboa. We got Jessica Rose Clark, now a dog, plus 105. Tanya Lisboa, minus 125. How many times are we going to fall for this same trap? Lisboa looks really good on tape, you know. She looks really good. She has a Muay Thai background. You know, she fought Shevchenko 13 years ago. She fought Norma Dumont. She looks solid. She looks really good, but she's fought nobody. She's fought absolutely nobody. I would not bet on this fight, but everybody's betting on this fight this week, which is terrifying. This fight's going to go one of two ways. Either Lisboa comes in here and she's legit. She looks awesome. She runs through Jessica Rose Clark. Or she's a fraud. She's beaten nobody. She has no wins over an opponent with 1 win on her record. She's fighting her very first fighter here, and she gets dominated. She looks terrible. She looks awful. She looks like she doesn't belong. It's going to go one of two ways. Either she's legit or she's not. I don't see it happening any other way, and I don't really want to flip a coin whether she's legit or not. So, yes, she looks good, but she's fought and beaten nobody. This is going to be the first opponent that she's fought, and outside of Norma Dumont, and she fought another 6-1 fighter, but she lost both those fights. So I'm gonna pick Jessica Rose Clark, but I don't, you know, don't bet this fight. I mean, what's the point, you know? And betting a fight like this, I mean, there's so many unknowns. Like, pass. I'm passing on this fight. Gabe Green going against Brian Battle. Nothing here. Brian Battle did miss weight by a couple pounds. He didn't look great. He had that blonde hair going on. I'm going with Gabe Green. I'm sticking with my pick of Gabe Green. Don't really love the price tag sitting at minus 135, though. I think this fight probably does go the distance just because both guys are next level tough, next level durable. Both guys are really good finishers. So I considered violence, but, you know, due to the fact that both guys are so tough, I don't really see a finish either way. I think Gabe Green comes out here and wrestles Brian Battle. Brian Battle has a huge hole in his game, and that's the takedown defense. I expect Gabe Green to go out there and implement that game plan with the wrestling and winning a decision here, but I don't really want to lay minus 135 on Gabe Green. Next, we got Jeong Kim going against Mandy Bum. You know, what's going on here? Should Jeon Kim win? Yeah, she should win this fight, but imagine laying minus 250, minus 230 on Jeon Kim, and she goes out there and loses. You know, how could you live with yourself if you laid chalk on Jeon Kim, who's 1-4 in her last 5 fights, and lost that bet? She should win, but I mean, no, I'm not touching this one as well. So pass. Big giant pass. Mandy Bum is probably the worst female fighter on the roster. I can't think of a close second. But Jeon Kim's 1-4 in her last 5 fights. So yeah, don't bet this fight, but if you have to, Jeon Kim probably should win. Moving on, let's get to some actual fights. We have Cody Stamann going against Douglas Silva de Andrade. This is going to kick off my action on a card where I don't have much action. I have a half unit shot on Douglas Silva de Andrade, plus 135, and then I have a quarter unit sprinkle on the fight to end by split or majority decision, plus 450 for a quarter unit there, so 0.75 units invested here. And yeah, this fight's apparently randomly at a catch weight. Douglas Silva de Andrade weighed in this morning at like 130 something, or 139 something, and I was like, did he just miss weight by a couple pounds? And I was like, he looked really good, but did he just miss weight by a lot? And then all of a sudden, Cody Stamann weighs in around 140, and apparently it's a catch weight. So, and the reason it's a catch weight is on the Cody Stamann side. And I even did hear an interview where Cody Stamann was talking about wishing he could talk to Douglas Silva de Andrade and try to get it to a catch weight. So yeah, Cody Stamann is the one that won this fight at a catch weight, which is very interesting, honestly. But yeah, I think this fight's super close. I think it's going to be the minute winning of Cody Stamann, more volume on the feet versus the power, you know, the more explosiveness of Douglas Silva de Andrade. I think this fight probably does go to decision. If it doesn't, it probably means Douglas Silva de Andrade knocked out or submitted Cody Stamann. I don't think Stamann has any finishing equity here. I think this fight goes to the judges, and what are the judges going to favor? They're going to favor the more explosive, the bigger shots, the bigger moments of Douglas Silva de Andrade, or are they going to favor the wrestling of Cody Stamann? Are they going to favor probably the more volume of Cody Stamann? I'm leaning with the bigger shots of Douglas Silva de Andrade, but I think this fight has potential to be a split if this fight does go the distance, which I think it does. So quarter unit split decision plus 450, and then half unit shot on Douglas Silva de Andrade plus 135. Moving on, we got Carl Williams going against Shay Sherman. Minus 410 on Carl Williams. What could go wrong? I mean, what could go wrong here? Yeah, Carl Williams should win this fight, but at minus 410, what are you going to do? I'm actually really upset because I had an under 2.5 rounds in this fight the last time it was booked at plus money, and the fight got canceled, moved to this card, and all of a sudden, like the under 2.5 is like minus 130, minus 140. So no, I'm not touching that. I think Williams probably does finish here, but you're only getting minus 105 for Carl Williams to finish when he literally finishes nobody at all. It's another pass spot for me. I think Carl Williams should win. If you want to parlay him, I wouldn't, but fine, he should win this fight. I mean, a Chase Sherman win would be pretty shocking here, but it's a heavyweight fight. It's a low-level heavyweight fight. Just no need to put money on this fight, but I'm passing on this one as well. Next, we have Court McGee going against Matt Brown. Not much here, just really, really small sprinkles on this one. I have Court McGee wins in round 2, 0.15 units, plus 1,300, and then Court McGee wins in round 3, 0.1 units, plus 1,600. A quarter unit total, very small, just due to the fact that Court McGee is not finishing anybody. The last finish Court McGee actually has was back in, I think, 2010. So it's been a very, very long time since Court McGee has got a finish. So more than likely doesn't hit here, but Matt Brown's 42 years old. Matt Brown has struggles on the mat. Matt Brown has 10 submission losses in his career, 13 finish losses in his career, and Court McGee is going to have the better cardio, he's going to have the better wrestling, the better grappling, and if Court McGee can push a pace, get on top, I think he's going to be live for a finish in that second or third round. Court McGee was in an interview talking about how he wants to get that finish, which is nice to hear, so maybe he goes out there and tries to get it. And if he can go out there and tire out Matt Brown, and Matt Brown's completely gassed in that second and third round, and Court McGee's on top, pounding him out or going for that sub, I think that the finish could be live there. But again, small play, not a ton of confidence. 0.15 units on that round 2 and 0.10 units on the round 3, 1,300 and 1,600 on those ones. Moving on, we got Alex Morono going against Tim Means. Morono minus 230, Tim Means plus 195. I will say I wasn't too happy with what I saw on the scales today from Alex Morono. Probably the worst he's ever looked. Like, he looked like he was up there dying. So that's not great, but I do have a half-unit shot on the fight doesn't go to decision at plus 110, and then I also have a half-unit shot on Alex Morono to win inside the distance, plus 215. With the way that Morono was looking on the scales, I think the fight doesn't goes even looking even better now, but I just don't trust the durability of Tim Means at this point. Tim Means is a guy that's been finished 8 times in his career. Morono finished 3 times in his career, but yeah, I think the durability of Tim Means is really starting to diminish nowadays. Alex Morono is going to come out there. He's going to try to stand and bang with Tim Means. They're both going to land big shots, and I think Morono can get him out of there. I think it can look a lot like the Cowboy Cerrone fight where Cerrone was on his way out. I think Means is definitely on his way out, and I think Morono can go out there and finish him. But yeah, Morono looked like complete crap on the scales for what it's worth, but I still think he can go out there and finish a 39-year-old Tim Means in this one. So yeah, half-unit shot on the fight doesn't go, half-unit shot on Morono inside the distance. Moving on, we got Carlos Ober going against Eryk. So I have 2 parlays on this card, and this is my first parlay leg. I parlayed up the fight doesn't go to decision. Super chalky, but it's a parlay leg that I think hits for what it's worth. But yeah, it's very chalky, and it's about the same as the Oberg money line. So I figured instead of parlaying up Oberg at minus 440, why not parlay up the fight doesn't go at minus 450? Because I think if Peteria does win, it's probably some type of finish. So, but I fully expect Ober to go out there and finish Peteria. But you know, what are you gonna do? The Oberg money line's minus 440. The fight doesn't go decisions minus 450. Oberg inside the distance minus 250, and then Oberg KO minus 210. I mean, just very, very chalky here. A lot of people expecting Oberg to finish. I'm expecting Oberg to finish. Give me the fight doesn't go as a parlay piece. I'll talk about the other leg later in the show. Moving on, we got Ian Machado Gary going against Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez did miss weight by half a pound. He ended up cutting the rest of the weight, and they ended up making weight, which is nice. But yeah, I just have a weird feeling about this fight. A very weird feeling. Like, this line makes no sense to me at all. But it's one of those spots where, yeah, Ian Gary probably shouldn't be minus 305, but Ian Gary probably wins this fight. Because if this fight does go the distance, which I think it does, you know, the judges probably score it for Gary, right? The judges probably score it for Gary. They're just at different trajectories in their career. Daniel Rodriguez, 36 years old, has not looked great as of late, whereas Ian Gary, training at a great gym, only like 25, 26 years old, just getting better. So I think Gary probably does win this fight, but I mean, nobody can sit there and tell me that Ian Gary should be minus 305. Something seems up here. Something seems wrong. It's a fight I just want to stay away from. Some bets I was considering, though, was potentially the money line on Daniel Rodriguez plus 255, but I think he probably does lose. The Daniel Rodriguez finish only plus 250. I think if there's a finish, it probably comes from comes from Daniel Rodriguez. But even then, I didn't like how Daniel Rodriguez looked in the 3rd round in his last fight, so I'm probably staying away from that. And then also the Daniel Rodriguez plus 3.5 at around plus money is something I also considered. But even then, I don't want to get screwed by the judges. Like, what if it goes to decision? All 3 judges score at 30-27. You're kind of screwed there. So yeah, it's just a fight I have a weird feeling on. A fight I'm going to sit back and watch. A fight where, you know, if you parlay Ian Gary, it probably hits, but it's probably going to be a lot closer than you expected. So it's going to be a pass for me, but I don't hate anybody taking a shot on D-Rod. It's just one of those bets where I think, yeah, you're getting value, but it probably doesn't hit. Moving on, co-main event, Johnny Walker going against Anthony Smith. Yeah, another parlay piece here for me. I parlayed up the fight doesn't go to decision. I'll talk about the other leg in a second. I think it's a violent fight here. These guys have been finished a combined 19 times in their career. These guys have like a combined 93% finish rate. Both guys are going to be dangerous anywhere the fight goes. On the feet, you know, Johnny Walker has a ton of power, very explosive. Anthony Smith has some power in his own right. Johnny Walker, his durability is not good at all, whereas Anthony Smith, I don't think his durability is good at all as well. 14 finish losses for Anthony Smith. And if this fight hits the mat, Anthony Smith, black belt in BJJ, very good grappler, probably going to have the advantage there, but Johnny Walker has shown some grappling chops as well. So I just feel like there's a path to victory for both guys here, a path to finish for both guys, and instead of picking a side, I like violence. Parlaying up that fight doesn't go decision. It's chalky. It's very chalky. I don't love it. I don't like laying this much chalk. I've done a really good job not laying a lot of chalk this year, and I've had a ton of success, but not much else is sticking out this week. It's a parlay piece that I think hits. And then finally we have Gelton Almeida going against Jarzina Rozenstruk. This is going to close out those parlays. So 2 parlays this week. I have the Jarzina Rozenstruk Gelton Almeida fight won't start round 3. Parlayed with Anthony Smith, Johnny Walker fight doesn't go to decision. That came out to -172 on FanDuel for 1.5 units. And then the second parlay is same thing. Rozenstruk Gelton Almeida fight won't start round 3. Parlayed with the Ober Pateria fight doesn't go to decision. That came out to -174 for 1.5 units. I think this fight does finish. I think it finishes before round 3. I even think it finishes under 1.5 rounds. I don't hate the under 1.5 rounds, and I even think it probably finishes in round 1. Gelton Almeida, for what it's worth, has only 1 win that came over 1.5 rounds, and that was in his last fight against Shamil. And then he has actually 0 wins that have come in the 3rd round. He's been to the 3rd round once, and he lost that fight. He's a big favorite here. He's expected to win. I think he wins probably under 1.5 rounds, like most of his wins do come in. So, yeah, just parlaying up that fight won't start round 3, hoping for some violence in the main event, and hoping that violence comes fairly early, which I think it does. I think it's either Rozenstruk within the first 30 seconds, or Almeida takes him down and gets him out of there shortly after. So, yeah, guys, sketchy card. Sketchy card. I'm keeping it light. Second lightest card of the year. Only moneyline bet is Douglas Silva de Andrade, half unit plus 135. Quarter unit on that split prop plus 450. My 2 parlays are Rozenstruk, Almeida, fight won't start round 3. Parlay with the Walker, Smith, fight doesn't go, 1.5 units -172. Then the other parlay, Almeida, Rozenstruk, fight won't start round 3. Parlayed with the Ober Pateria, fight doesn't go, 1.5 units -174. Just 0.15 unit sprinkle on McGee round 2, and then a 0.10 unit sprinkle on McGee round 3, plus 1,300 and plus 1,600. Other than that, the Means Morono fight doesn't go to decision, half a unit plus 110, and then the Alex Morono wins inside the distance, half a unit plus 215. That is the action for this week. I'll be getting out a breakdown very early for UFC Vegas 73. Everything's taped. Just got to hit record and posting it probably on Saturday there. So best of luck. Bankroll management's key. Don't go all out on Jeon Kim, Mandy Bum. Don't go all out on Jessica Rose Clark, Tanya, Lisboa. Because even if you hit those bets, I guarantee you'll probably have some slight regret there either way. But yeah, guys, best of luck. Like, subscribe. Almost at 20K. Let's get there. And good luck for UFC Charlotte. Let's make some money. See you guys later.